Hey guys, Jarek here, and Komodo's back, and I'm going to be starting a new series from my video game account called the Best Halo 4 Forge Maps. I did something very similar for Trials Evolution, and the amount of how many I do of these entirely depends on how successful it is. It's a decent amount of work to actually make these videos. I have to go find the maps myself, download them, create a good race, or actually have a good race to where I don't crash and fuck everything up. Then I have to splice all the videos together, create a commentary, render it, and then upload it. It's a lot more work than just simply enjoying the maps myself and not having to do any recording whatsoever, so if these don't get a whole lot of views, I probably won't make any more. So if you want to see more of these, share it around, like it, do all that stuff that you like to do if you want to see something be successful. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers that constantly reminds you need to subscribe and like and stuff like that, because if they're going to do that, they already like the video and they've already done it, they don't need a reminder. So yeah, Best Halo 4 Forge Maps. For a while I didn't really play Halo 4 Forge. At the beginning and launch of Halo 4, everything was kind of all fucked up and whatnot. You couldn't really share maps, everything was way broken. It was pretty much tied on to local stuff. But it's been fixed now. A lot of the problems that were at launch of Halo 4 has been fixed. So, hey, we can really enjoy it. I might be a little bit late into doing this, but hey, better late than never. So you did play a decent amount of Forge, at least I remember you saying that about Halo Reach.
Yes, and Halo 3 as well. I made a couple of maps, never really got too serious into it, but yeah, I definitely have.
I was never really one of the people to make maps. I was always one of the ones to go download maps and play on those maps because, you know, as a kid, I wasn't a kid to go build with Legos and stuff like that. I was always outside, riding my bike, doing sports. And, you know, as a kid, I did play video games, but I didn't play them as near as much as other people did because I was constantly doing stuff. And, I don't want to say that's flip-flopped, because that definitely isn't the case. I'm still very, very interested in sports, and you can say that out of personal experience.
Yes.
But I definitely play a lot more video games now than I did back in the day, just because, well, one, I get paid for it now. That's a big motivator right there. And two, it's just simpler for me. It's a lot easier to just kind of relax at the end of the day and play games. So yeah, that's been the first map. These are going fairly quick. I do show the name when I pause the video right at the beginning. Like, the name of this map is called Bacon. No sarcasm there, it really is called Bacon. All these maps are on the Forge map of Impact, which is as far as I know, the only space map when it came to the original Forge maps. That was another thing about Halo 4 Forge when it launched. Halo Reach launched with a really, really good Forge map. Like, Forge World of Halo Reach is one of those maps that you'll see and you have all these warm, nice, fuzzy memories, or just so much nostalgia about what you did. I can't really say I had that about Halo 4 at launch. Like, none of the Forge maps were really large, and they really kind of tied you down. There wasn't a whole lot of space to do much. Like, this is still enough space to do what you're seeing here, but nowhere near as much as Halo Reach's Forge World was. Which is kind of funny, because when I look at Halo Reach, usually I don't have good memories about it, with the exception of Halo Anniversary. If I see a picture of Sword Base, I'm going to groan, because I never want to fucking see that map ever again in my life. And that's kind of how I felt about Halo Reach in general, but I did really like Halo Anniversary, and that was pretty good game mode. Hey, barrel roll. Keep going, I'm good. But yeah, Halo 4 Forge definitely, it's good now at this point. That's all I really need to say about it. They added a lot to Halo 4's Forge when they added in Forge Islands, which are some very, very big, it is a very big map. I wouldn't say it's as good as Forge World was in Halo Reach. The glory about Halo Reach's Forge World is just that it wasn't that it was big, it was that it had about every single different type of environment possible. If you wanted to build something on a cliff wall, you easily could do that. There was plenty of ocean, there was plenty of hills, there was plenty of flat land. They added Blood Gulch back in. So yeah, it was just perfect for build stuff.
I also like that little hangar they had built into the side of that cliff.
Yeah, there was really everything on that map. And even though like they hyped it up as being this big, gigantic map, I wouldn't say it was as big as they were making it out to be, but, you know, it had variation, which is the main point. So hey, I got through the second map. Something else a little bit late in saying this, but I'm going to start answering questions on these videos as well. So if you have questions you want to ask me, I will answer them in future commentaries for this series and for whenever the hell I do commentaries. Talk about this map really quick. This map is a map that works with a mongoose, a warthog, and a ghost, but it's definitely made for the mongoose. As you can probably tell, this is a very narrow path for a warthog to be going on, but if you give me the option, I'm going to choose a warthog instead of a mongoose. Nothing against the mongoose, I just like the warthog a little bit more. But yeah, questions. Let me go ahead and look through some of the questions. Other than this is a good one. Other than Call of Duty, what game makes you rage the hardest? I think you would probably be faster at answering that question than I would be.
I want to say that it makes me rage, but it makes me rage in a good way. It gives me like a... I hate to use this term, but it gives me like a rage boner. Dark Souls. I absolutely love the game, but I hate how much bullshit it puts you through. Like, oh my god. I don't know if anybody really knows about, Dark Souls, watching your videos. I'm not, making any assumption.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows about Dark Souls at this point. I don't even play Dark Souls, and I know, like, everything about it.
But, like, the one boss that really got me is not a boss that'll friggin' cheap shot you or anything. It's the Ceaseless Discharge, because there's a stupidly easy way to kill it. And it's like, no, that's not what this game is about. This game is supposed to make your blood boil.
Well, it is called Prepare to Die. Also, if you give me a cheap way to kill a boss in that game, I'm gonna fucking do it.
I want the most difficult, back-breakingest way to beat the boss so I can go, yes, I have accomplished something in a video game.
When you're playing Dark Souls, I think the opinion is, I'm getting really good at cheap ways of beating bosses. It's generally how it works. Moving on to the next map. The next map is called Rambo Road. This actually is not tied in. It's not tied into Mario Kart in any way whatsoever. You'll see why it's named that. This is probably the best map out of the current maps I'm showing you. It's done very well, very cool. It's definitely a mongoose only map. I am not entirely sure why they made it.
The what? What?
Yeah,
okay.
Everything is made to work with the mongoose. A lot of really, really cool stuff like that. This will not work with the warthog and won't work with the ghost. I don't know why they bother spawning those at the beginning. So yeah, what game made me rage? This is actually a very, very hard question for me. Because I don't really get mad at games. And usually, like, if something frustrates me, I'm determined to get better at it, and then I'm not mad at it anymore. Like, I play a lot of games that legitimately should make me mad, like Red Orchestra 2 is a game that you should be able to get frustrated at because it's a very, very punishing game.
I can agree with that.
But, I'm used to stuff like that. Like, I don't really rush into things. I usually think about the tactics of what I'm going to do before I actually do them. And, the thing I really like about Red Orchestra 2 in general is just vulnerability in shooters is very, very underused. You never see games using vulnerability as a main core gameplay mechanic. Almost every shooter makes you feel like this unbeatable god of a character. And in Red Orchestra 2, you know you're vulnerable and you know you're gonna die. You second think everything you're gonna do.
I like that game, and I try to get tactical, like you say, when I play it. But usually that ends up with me getting shot in the face before I can have a single thought.
You gotta be very slow. That game definitely does, it rewards positioning and basically just thinking. It rewards slower gameplay and positioning behind enemies. So yeah, I still say, you said besides Call of Duty what game makes you mad? I can't give an honest answer. I can just say Call of Duty is the only game that legitimately pisses me off. And the only reason it pisses me off is because it takes away every sort of advantage a good player will have. If you have more skill than the enemy, there's still a very, very good chance that your enemy is going to kill you. Like, the skill gap is closed horribly with that game. It is not made for... It's definitely not aimed towards hardcore gamers in any way whatsoever.
Also, wanted to throw this one in there. What was it? I Want to Be the Guy. I literally took me months to figure out how to get past that first area. No, not even months. It took me like a year, because I was just like, I don't get it. It just drops me into a room full of spikes. And then it turns out you have to go a different way, and I was so mad.
And you never once thought to look up on YouTube.
No, I don't do this, okay? I need to figure it out on my own. It is one of my biggest quirks. I have to figure out how to do something on my own, and if somebody else tells me how to do it, or someone goes, hey, here's a YouTube video that shows how to do it, it's like, no, I didn't do it myself, it doesn't count.
I kind of have a general rule, mainly because I'm usually recording things when I'm playing. If I get stuck on something for a certain period of time, I will look up a playthrough just to see how to get past that one point. Then as soon as I know it, I keep playing as you're supposed to. But you're probably one of those people that also kind of sees playthroughs as like cheating. Or walkthroughs, I mean.
Yes. Honestly, I haven't used a walkthrough since Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
You fucking needed it with that goddamn game, though.
I mean, as young as I was back then playing it, and it was, you got stuck very easily.
It was a puzzle game. That fucking water temple. I actually never beat Ocarina of Time because I got stuck on the water temple and eventually just said, fuck it.
I remember when I got it again on the 3DS, I was kind of raging a little bit at the water temple because I had no idea what I was doing. And then, oh hey, that's a TIE fighter. That's cool.
Yeah,
Actually,
this whole map
bomber.
is this whole map is Star Wars stuff, and it loops right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut over to the next map here.
That was actually pretty cool. I like that TIE bomber they put in there.
And this map is, once again, you can use a mongoose, a ghost, or a warthog. So I decided to go with the warthog. I think it's actually kind of made for the warthog. You can see it's a little bit wider than the other maps were. So, hey, gonna go ahead and use a warthog. Pretty cool thing.
Still, I wouldn't want to use a warthog on a level like this because it's like, sure, they're bigger and everything, but I don't trust.
They're not as controllable in any way whatsoever. I don't care. They're just cooler to me. But it works with all of them. That's the cool thing. Some of these maps, like I said in one of the previous maps, some of these maps don't work with all the vehicles they're spawning, and I don't know why they bothered to spawn them. And it's not a game type, because I'm just opening this using basic editing. Even though most of these say, hey, open it with a race game type, oh well.
I was about to ask if they still had that, because actually...
No, they don't. You can have custom game types that add in race things, but they don't stock out of the game have a race game mode, which makes no sense. Yeah, there was a lot of fuck-ups like that when Halo 4 just came out. They should totally call Halo 4's Forge Halo Forge. Oh, I'm so clever.
That was bad.
That's like when Halo 4, that's what, like, when Forza 4 came out, everyone was like, why didn't they just call it Forza?
That's, And see, I like puns. That's,
I don't even care. Not even mad.
Anywho, questions.
Yeah, moving on. What's your favorite movie of all time? I'm not really a big movie guy. I'll watch them. But with that said, I don't think I really have a favorite movie. There's a lot of movies that I like say District 9 or the Aliens franchise as a whole, with the exception of Aliens 4, whatever the hell that one was named.
Resurrection.
Fuck that one. Yeah, that's not an Aliens movie. That's a stupid, generic, badass woman chick flick thing. It's not a chick flick, but you get my point. That's not an Aliens movie. Aliens were not the primary focus. And I'm going to have to talk about this map real quick. So this isn't a race type map. Every other map I showed you is a racing type map. This one is actually a remake of a Halo 1 map that I don't think you would recognize because you didn't play a lot of Halo 1 multiplayer. At least as far as I know.
No, nothing.
This one never again showed up in a Halo game, which really disappointed me because I actually really liked this for custom game modes. This really wasn't a fantastic map for regular Slayer, but for stuff like Slayer Free-For-All with snipers only, or for team snipers, or like rockets especially worked very well on this level. Because you have so much space between you and the other person shooting rockets at you that you can sidestep their rocket. And it's almost like playing rockets on Hang 'em High. It's so much chaos, and you can see all the chaos happening, and the whole time you're just like, why am I still alive? What's going on right now? This is one of those maps, but this was boarding action in Halo 1. And like I said, it never showed up again in another Halo game, which kind of disappointed me because it was a map in space with just two different sides, and that's all there was to it. Very simple, many different ways to get around. Teleporters to lead from one side to another. There was a few ladders in Halo 1. I'm pretty sure those were replaced with gravity lifts from now on. They seem to phase out ladders in general when it came to Halo. Actually, I think, was there even any ladders in Halo 2?
I don't remember there being any ladders in any Halo game.
There was ladders in Halo 1. After that, they kind of disappeared.
Hey, there was a ladder in Halo 4. No? Actually, that wasn't a ladder. That was just an elevator shaft. Oops.
I was going to say, no, nothing comes to mind.
Previous question though. For me, it would have to be. I have two actually. Dragonheart, for pretty obvious reasons, and The Fifth Element. I absolutely love The Fifth. Okay, sure. Suicide is an option.
It is an option.
The Fifth Element is just. It's a movie that when I saw it, I immediately fell in love with it, and actually because of it, I can recognize what do you call those people that make the movies? Producer or whatever? I can recognize his work now.
The director?
Director. There we go. Yes.
So yeah, that's been it. That's pretty much all the maps I wanted to show. I'll probably make more of these if this gets a decent amount of views. Let's just put a random arbitrary number, say if it gets over anywhere between 800 to 1,000 views, that's within the first week, then maybe I'll make some more. This is something I enjoy doing, and I'll see you next video.